036, Course Completion and Orange Juice. Today was the 20th and final day of the Basic Magic Tool Crafting course. I had actually finished the course content, which normally takes 20 days, by the 10th day. But thanks to the Guildmaster's kindness, she let me continue making magic tools at the Guild for the remaining 10 days. I had planned to try making some magic tools on my own after the course, so being able to use the fully equipped Guild was a huge help. I was especially grateful that the Guildmaster introduced me to a workshop that could fabricate the metal and glass parts I couldn't make myself. "Guildmaster, it's finally done. It's a magic tool for mixing things," I announced, showing the just completed device to the Guildmaster, who was on the first floor. "It's wonderful. You finished it. Congratulations, Alan." "Thank you. It's all thanks to your guidance." The magic tool I created could be used as both a food processor and a mixer. You could switch between functions just by changing the blade. At first, I thought it would be difficult without any kind of rubber seal, but when I consulted the Guildmaster, she said something similar existed, so I went ahead with the project. The substitute for the rubber seal was apparently a specially processed fluid from a monster called a slime. The principle was simple. It used wind magic to spin a set of fins and mix the ingredients. Even though it was just wind power, it was surprisingly strong and more than adequate for the job. Since wind power alone wasn't enough to get the right rotational speed, I made 2 gears of different sizes to increase the velocity. I couldn't have the gears or the pinwheel that caught the wind at the workshop, so I had no choice but to craft them myself from a metal plate using my electromagnetic blade, laser gun, and a hammer. One thing I was particular about was using glass for the cup that holds the ingredients. It would be unusable if you couldn't see the condition of the food inside. The glass wasn't perfectly transparent, it was a little cloudy, but that couldn't be helped. Of course, I also included a safety feature to prevent injuries from putting your hand in while it's operating. I designed it so that the magic circuit would only connect when a special lid with an attached rod was in place and being pressed down. In other words, you insert the rod from the lid into the device and press down on the lid to make it run. This way, even a child could use it safely. It was a masterpiece, though to be fair, Nanam designed the mechanism and the magic circle, and I just followed its millimeter by millimeter instructions. I opened up the magic tool and gave the Guildmaster a full explanation of how to use it and how it worked. To top it all off, a test run was in order. I had asked Barth to get me some orange-like fruit just for this day. I tried one and it was quite sweet and delicious. I peeled a few and put them in the cup. This should be enough for the 3 of us, the Guildmaster, Lily, and me. I pressed down the lid to start it. With a whirring sound, the fins inside began to spin. This should be about right. I had Lily get 3 cups and I poured the finished orange juice. Time for a taste. It's delicious, my first orange juice in a long time. Of course, the leftover bits of pulp are noticeable, but it's still absolutely delicious. It would probably be even better if I strained it through a sieve. "Alan, this is amazing! I've never had anything like this before," Lily exclaimed. "It's truly delicious, Alan. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be such a useful magic tool," the Guildmaster added. "This will really expand the possibilities in cooking." "Alan," the Guildmaster said, "you mentioned you were an adventurer, but where did you learn to make things like this?" "What should I say? I guess I'll just have to fudge it. My parents loved making things, so they taught me all sorts of stuff." "I see. The mechanism is brilliant. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never have believed that someone who's only taken the basic course could create a magic tool of this caliber." "It's the fruit of your excellent instruction, Guildmaster." Alan, I feel bad saying this when you've just finished it, but would you be willing to sell this magic tool to the Mages Guild?" What do you mean?" "This magic tool incorporates several techniques I've never seen before, especially this gear system, this part that catches the wind and the blade that chops things. This is worthy of research." Oops, did I do something wrong? But the guys at the workshop knew about gears. I see. The specific shape of the gears and the pinwheel might have been beyond this planet's current level of science. Out of curiosity, how much would you buy it for? 200,000 guineas. In addition, I will promote you to A rank. 200,000 guineas? That's a fortune. I can't believe she'd offer that much for a mere kitchen appliance. It probably includes something like patent or technology fees. The material and outsourcing costs were only about 15,000 guineas, so this is a huge profit. But why the promotion? Why the promotion? The quality of this magic tool is more than enough to merit a promotion to A rank. Besides, contributions to the Mages Guild are also taken into account for promotions. It's a common misconception, but ranks in the Mages Guild are evaluated based on the technical level of one's magic arts, not just skill in casting magic. In the past, there have been guild members who reached S rank without learning a single spell. I see. But is there any benefit to being A rank? As an A rank, your guild member discount increases to 30%. It was like she read my mind. A 30% discount would be very welcome. I did just finish making it though, but I already made another set of parts because I was planning to build one for Barth, so I can always make another one. Maybe I should just sell it. In that case, I'll offer 250,000 guineas. I can't go any higher without consulting the guild headquarters. She must have misinterpreted my hesitation as me being unwilling to sell and raise the price. No, 200,000 is fine. In exchange, though, would it be possible for me to take a quick look at the grimoire for the Applied Magic Tool Crafting course? I'm honestly debating whether to take the Applied course, and seeing the content would help me decide. If that's the case, then of course. Yes, if I just glance through the grimoire, Nanom can record it in detail. I feel a little bad for the Mages Guild and the Guildmaster, but I'll just consider the 50,000 I just turned down as the price for the grimoire. Since I'm selling it, I should probably include a memo with notes on its construction. When I mentioned this, the Guildmaster was overjoyed. She said she was going to the Merchants Guild to withdraw the money. You can deposit money at the Merchants Guild. I wonder if it earns interest. While waiting for her, I wrote a memo looking over the tool's inner workings. I included instructions, points I struggled with during construction, and the reasoning behind its design. By the time the Guildmaster returned, I had filled 5 pages with detailed explanations, complete with illustrations here and there. Oh my, this is wonderful, Alan. You wrote so much. This will surely be a great help to our research. She brought the Applied Magic Tool Crafting grimoire from the back room, and I quickly flipped through it. You're recording this, right? Yes. So there's something called compound magic. After I finished recording, I returned the grimoire to her. So, are you interested in taking the applied course? How much is the tuition for the applied course? The fee is 100,000 guineas, but since you're A rank, it's 70,000 with the 30% discount. Speaking of which, we'll need to update your guild card. I'm definitely interested, but it's a bit steep for my budget right now. I'll think about it again after I've saved up. That's a shame. I got my guild card updated to A rank and received 20 gold coins as payment for the magic tool. Even though the course is over, you're welcome to come by anytime. If you're making a magic tool, I'll even lend you a workspace specially. That would be a great help. Thank you. I'll be back. I left the Mages Guild and headed back to the inn. When I returned to the inn, Rena and the others were waiting for me, drinking tea at their usual table in the dining hall. About half the seats were filled with other guests. The first few days we stayed here, we were the only guests, but other customers started showing up soon after. The first time Barth served a meal using one of the recipes I taught him, it caused quite a stir. Maybe because of that, more and more customers started coming, and now about half the rooms are occupied. Barth was happily complaining that he hadn't been busy in years. On my way to the table, my eyes were drawn to a plate of food another customer was eating. Ooh, minced meat cutlets for lunch today. Looks delicious. Sorry to keep you waiting. Why don't we eat here for lunch today? I was just about to suggest the same thing, Alan. Lunch isn't included in the room rate, so normally we'd have to pay, but Barth refuses to take our money. That's why we usually try to eat out, but the allure of today's minced meat cutlets was too strong to resist. I immediately ordered 3 meals from Barth's daughter, Sarah. I told Rena and Elna what happened at the Mages Guild. That's amazing! You sold it for 200,000 guineas? Elna exclaimed. Suddenly, the conversations at the surrounding tables stopped. Elna had spoken quite loudly, and they must have overheard. The guests are probably mostly merchants. Yeah, surprising, right? This money belongs to the party, so if there's anything you want, just let me know. But that's your money, Alan, Rena said. The course was paid for with party funds, and the magic tool was the result of that, so it's party money. Is there anything you want, Rena?
Something I want? Not really. I don't have anything either, Elna added. Well, just let me know if you think of something. There's a magic tool I want to make. Is it okay if I buy materials and stuff for it? Of course it's okay. You don't need to ask our permission for that. I can't do that. It's party money, so we have to do things properly.
Sarah brought over our minced meat cutlet platters. Rena's was, without question, a large portion. This looks so good. There were 2 large cutlets, shredded cabbage with a Chinese-style dressing, and a side of steamed poteau fruit. The poteau was sprinkled with an herb salt that Barth and I had concocted. Recently, they started offering a choice of bread or rice, but for us, rice came out automatically. The tomato ketchup I taught them how to make when I gave them the recipe was also on the side. I still believe Japanese-style tonkatsu sauce is the best for mincemeat cutlets, but Barth and I haven't been able to replicate it yet. A container of soy sauce, or rather soy, was also brought out with our meals. This was my idea. In this country, it's common to serve dishes with the sauce already on them, so the idea of letting the customer choose their own sauce was apparently quite novel. Barth was very impressed by it. Oh, they've included mustard too. Today, I'll have mine with a generous smear of mustard and soy sauce. It's so good. The juices are just pouring out. Freshly fried mincemeat cutlets are the best. Rena apparently doesn't like spicy food, so she was eating hers with ketchup. Elna was having hers the same way as me, with mustard and soy sauce. As we ate in silence for a while, I could hear the conversations from the other tables. Most of it was about the food, but the table right next to us had started talking about the apostle. Apparently, a merchant they knew was saved by the apostle when he was attacked by monsters. Lately, stories about this apostle have been popping up everywhere. When Mr. Tar's son, Catull, first mentioned it, the story was treated as something dubious. But now, the existence of the apostle seems to have become firmly established among the people. The people talking about it now always speak with reverence, using the honorific Lord Apostle. Listening to them, it seems the apostle appears regularly in larger cities. It suddenly materializes in the sky, flies in circles as if watching over the city for a while, and then vanishes just as abruptly. In all cases, there's no damage, and some of the people who witnessed it have even started praying to the apostle, grateful for being watched over. I was planning to shoot it down with my rifle if it ever showed up in this town, but now it seems I won't be able to lay a finger on it. Well, I'd like to see this Lord Apostle for myself at least once. I hope it shows up in this town soon. By the way, what's this magic tool you want to make, Alan? That's a surprise for when it's finished. I don't even know if I can make it yet. On the way back from the guild just now, as I was reviewing the applied grimoire, I came across a compound magic of fire and wind. It was a magic that, as the name suggests, combined the two and could produce warm air. That's when it hit me. A hairdryer. Taking a bath every day was nice, but drying my hair was a real pain. A hairdryer would be incredibly useful. I'm sure Rena and Elna, with their longer hair, would love it too. When I asked Nanom to design it, the magic circle, dimensions, and materials for each part were displayed instantly. The components were simple: a casing, a magic circle, a switch, a magic wire, and a magic output stone. I should be able to make this pretty quickly. However, since the design is from the applied grimoire, making it at the guild could get complicated. It'll be a bit of a hassle, but I'll have to make it at the inn.
Oh, and I also need to assemble the mixing tool I sold. Starting tomorrow, I'll work on magic tools in the morning and practice magic in the afternoon. All right, lunch was great. Time to give my all in magic training today, too.